Columbia College Chicago will also grant honorary degrees to some very special individuals. Their professional accomplishments, their creative vision, the way they engage with the world, all of that truly embodies the ideals we hold dear here at Columbia College Chicago. We will award 6 of these such degrees this weekend during our commencement ceremonies. The bios of each and every one of our honorees are printed on page 16 and 17 in your program. I would now like to invite Mr. Bill Wolf back up again to come to the podium. He will offer a remembrance of the former board chair we are honoring here this evening. Bill?
Thank you, Yolanda. I'm honored to have an opportunity to share with you remembrances of Dick Kiphart, a truly great Chicagoan who was our beloved past board chair and a tireless champion of Columbia College Chicago. Dick was inspired by Columbia's mission, its faculty, and most of all, its students. He believed that Columbia's best years were ahead and had great confidence in Dr. Kim's leadership and his vision for the future of Columbia. When I was only a few years older than most of you, I met Dick for the first time. I had just joined one of Chicago's great firms, William Blair & Company, a firm Dick loved and one he helped build for over 50 years. Dick was a legend at Blair and in the investment community around the country. His enthusiasm for people, for ideas, and for deals was contagious. He was tireless, he was principled, he had high standards for himself and for everyone on his team. He closed hundreds of deals worth billions of dollars, including one with the greatest investor of our generation, Warren Buffett. He persuaded Warren that he must own Dairy Queen. Warren Buffett bought the company. Dick was also a wonderfully gifted investor, but what truly distinguished Dick was his ability to be so successful in the world while being unwavering in his devotion to his family. Dick was always on the road, trying to find his next deal. In his own self-deprecating way, he loved to refer to himself as a simple peddler. He may have been a peddler, but he was a peddler that came home for dinner. He would drive to Milwaukee on a Monday and be home on Monday night for dinner. Fly to Cincinnati on Tuesday, be home Tuesday night for dinner. Meetings in New York on Wednesday and be home Wednesday night. The discipline was always the same. Dick's wife, Susie, and their 3 daughters, Allie, Becky, and Jill, came first. It's a lesson Dick would want you to remember as you all begin your careers. After I moved on from Blair, Dick called me, and he insisted that I visit Columbia College. He had recently become the chairman of the Board of Trustees. Many of today's board members got similar calls. No one said no. Dick had an ability to connect people with ideas and opportunities. He would literally grab your arm, look at you with his penetrating blue eyes, ask you how you are, and then tell you what he needed you to do. We are all so lucky to have been grabbed by Dick. He did it to countless people all over the world, in Africa, at elementary schools in Chicago, at the Lyric Opera, at the Erickson Institute, teaching Sunday school at his local church in Kenilworth, and here at Columbia College. As Susie says, Dick did small things that made a huge difference for thousands of people. What Dick loved about Columbia was that its students came from such diverse circumstances and that Columbia provided a space for them to engage their passions. Dick saw Columbia as a home for students and faculty to channel the creative energies that drive them, and from their interactions within the Columbia community, be more able to go out into the world and shape the culture of their time. I'm sorry Dick is not here to grab each of you, to inspire you with his smile and the sparkle in his eyes. But I know he is looking down on all of us, cheering us on to be fearless in the pursuit of our interests, to engage with our families and with our communities, and to make the world a better place. Thank you, Dick, for doing so much for so many, including Columbia College Chicago. I would now like to ask Susie Kiphart, Dick's wife of 50 years, to come forward and accept the honorary Doctor of Arts degree that the college is conferring on Dick today.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon Richard Paul Kiphart, in memoriam, the degree of Doctor of Arts, honoris causa. Susie, thank you for being with us on this very special occasion.
Good afternoon and congratulations to all of you, parents, instructors, and students. I want to thank Bill Wolf and the wonderful board of directors and Dr. Kim for this honor to Dick. What would a degree from Columbia have meant to Dick? I guess if anyone would know, it should be me, married to him for so long. Columbia was inspiring to him. He thought young people had the magic. He wanted to be a part of your excitement. He bragged on you a lot. He was touched by your speeches and he was impressed by your work. He was especially drawn to creativity and he found a lot of that here. He cared about where you were from and he was interested in where you were going. He was one person who really meant it when he asked, "What's new?" He didn't tweet or Snapchat. He didn't listen to rap, but he wanted to know how these things worked for you, what they meant to you. I feel very excited for you, but I know that you're going to hear often and in detail, if you haven't already, that this world that you are inheriting is highly complicated with insurmountable challenges and problems. I thought it might be helpful to just say that Dick was a person who saw the complexities, but he lived his life with a few simple ideas. And maybe it could be comforting in these times to hear just a couple of those ideas, simple ideas about living with authenticity. He asked a lot of questions, and he told a lot of jokes. Some of them were not that good. He introduced people to one another, and he called people back. I know you don't call people back, but whatever you do, that's what he did. He did not go into a meeting excited to listen to himself talk. He listened to others, and when he thought the group had covered the agenda, he waited impatiently for the words "meeting adjourned" and he bolted. He did not take no for an answer. He liked a big challenge. If he had a falling out with someone, he waited a few weeks and then called them back with a funny story. He enjoyed people of all ages. He loved babies and children. He ate breakfast with me and he came home for dinner to be with our kids. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind to anyone, and he knew how to take a risk. He was passionate about many things, and he was perfectly willing to jump up and down and show it. He was not worried about being cool. He loved being outdoors and noticed natural beauty. He walked miles in his life in all sorts of weather. He was civic-minded, found his joy in sharing all that he could. He really started each day, I mean it, with gratitude. He really did. He knew he was blessed, and he worked to be a blessing. I think most importantly, he would say, if he were here, he was devoted to justice. He valued all people. He truly felt that everyone should walk together. He gave as much time to the waiter as to the cook, to the assistant as to the boss. He loved people, and he thought everyone should be loving, but he truly didn't care who you loved. So I think Dick would say thank you and be very honored, and he would tell you to find something funny today and to be fair to everyone. Now that's a pretty simple thing in the midst of all of our complexity, but ideas like these will never be out of date. and never overrated. Dick would have had a lot of confidence in you, and I hope you feel that confidence today. I think he would wish you big problems to solve and good people to love. Thanks so much for this opportunity.